Hello, everybody. This is a market analysis for October 17th, 2022. This is technically bullish. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. So here we have the TQQQ, triple PQQ. We see that the TQQQ has bounced off this fairly solid resistance line 3 times now. So this is a 1 hour time frame going into open tomorrow. I expect reasonably a drop. At most it's going to be let's see what 19 over 15 is. Yeah, that's pretty substantial. So 26% drop. But this again is the TQQQ, so 26 divided by 3 is about 8.6. That's the maximum it could drop within the next day, based off of my support bands here. In red, we have the moving averages. So we have the 100, the 50, the 25, and the 200. These create these support and resistance bands. And also we can see that it's, starting to form a cup. We just want to watch if it breaks above this resistance band or not. In terms of oversold or overbought, we have our fusion indicator here. Yes, it's at a length of 3. So we're still in the oversold range, the underbought range, which was the same where it was before its last little pump up to 37, right? But then again, if the moving averages are still falling, then upside swing will just actually be a straight horizontal line. So we want to watch what the overall trend is in terms of um, whether it's going to actually do any substantial movement for trading. Here I have a zone strength with the RSI, just default settings overlaid. So as you know, whenever the zone strength is in the underbought territory and the RSI is also within that same relative underbought territory, that's when it flashes green. So it's flashing green again. Let's look at the 1-day scale for a better perspective. Right, so we saw the red flash right before the general fall. We saw it bounce up above this resistance line here, back to about 62. Went back down, went back up. Let's see if we can form a line here. Yeah, I think that's more accurate. Something like that. So if it breaks above this line, the next target we're looking at is about 26 for the TQQQ. Let's look at the SPY for better reference. Yeah, so what happened was for SPY, we went all the way down to the resistance level and just bounced straight back up to it, back to the I think this is the 100 SMA. We went back down and we came back up again. I don't necessarily like this plateau here. I even though the zone strength and the RSI and the fusion are in, you know, relative immediate territory, you know, it was also like in medium territory right here where it just fell afterwards. So I wouldn't be so sure about the coming days. But in terms of percentage movement, we can probably expect at the most, see, 7.57 plus 5.28 plus 5.28 divided by 2. Um, if we're looking at just like the half of this, so if we're creating like a zone right here, expected movement, where this is where the vertical length of this is half of the length between the resistance lines. We have about a 6.5% change. If we're looking at the square root of the total distance, that's going to be lower. It's going to be about a 3.59% change. So volatility is still definitely there. Let's look at Bitcoin now. Here's something I wanted to show y'all. So for Bitcoin, let's amount to 4 hours. And let's delete the estimating system. Okay, so for Bitcoin, we had this, I don't know what this line is for. Okay, so we had this one resistance line here, which we started, from the peak to the sort of sub peak here when it started falling again. If you can look here, we just passed by it today. This is what I was watching most of today. Right, so after it fell through this one resistance level, it went back down to here, back up. Now it's here above. So in terms of movement, I think this is going to be a relative peak. So in terms of relatively fast movement, we want to see if this 890, 18900 level holds. These are two very, very strong levels right here. They've basically buttressed the price the entire time, right? We look at the day scale actually. It's been within this one crescent-shaped passage here. So, if there's bulls in the audience, they're probably going to see this and say, that's a clear sign, descending triangle goes up after that. But with today's market, I'm not so sure about that. You just need to see like the volatility or the volatility bands are decreasing, which is a sign of an impending move. And this can be, normally this is to the downside. You saw it right here. It went down, then it went back up. You saw it right here when it narrowed, then it went up, it went back down. Right here, when it narrowed, went back down. So the great thing about this indicator is that you can see you know, the relative the relative stages of the different mini market cycles, if you will, within any sort of asset. So right, this is one between these two lines is one trend, if you will. Between these two lines, another trend. This is another trend. So it goes here, here, etc. And we're ending this trend right here. So what will it be? We are at the R size at the overbought or overbought territory right here. So we could see move back to the downside, back to 18,880 in the short time frame. And the fusion oscillator. By the way, I've not really explained what this is. So this is the R side, the MFI, money flow index, the moving average, divergence, CCI, commodity channel index, TSI, true strength index, RVI, relative volatility index, all averaged out into one. So all normalized and averaged out into one. This is the filter for how what these directionals, their lengths are. So this is 3 times all of these. For the non-directionals, this is what determines these. You'll see these green buy signals and these red sell signals. So these non-directionals are the average of the ATR and the ADX, right? So if these are above a certain level, and this line goes back below, 1, or it goes back above -1, goes back below 1, it's a sell signal. If it goes back above -1, it's a buy signal when these flash. So just keep that in mind. I do expect it to flash a sell signal sometime soon. But yes. So that's for Bitcoin. One thing that another stock I was looking at was let's look at Tesla for a second. I don't know why this is darker. Okay, so actually Tesla looks like it might be down for a little bit of a reversal here. So look at that. It reached the bottom of the resistance band more or less by just a number of points, number of dollars, less than 10, right? The trend is narrowing. Sometimes it can be. Sometimes the thing about these resistance bands is that when it's in a clear downtrend or a clear uptrend, it can completely bypass them. Like right here, when it's in a clear uptrend, it just goes over them. But as a whole, I could see a short-term bounce on Tesla here because the RSI is also undervalued. So is the fusion oscillator. It has a non-directional peak right here, which is good, which means that it's a trend change. Same as like right here when it was a relative peak. Right here, it might be a relative trove, and we see the candlesticks are getting longer, the body's getting shorter. That's a sign that there's more resistance coming. So I could see a relative jump up to. Let's look at the average of these two. Well, not the average of these two. What the main resistance line is? It's about 259. So I could see a jump back to 259 from 215. And a matter of, I would say before, November 18th, more or less. So this is my daily update. If you like the content, I can subscribe. I'm trying to do these every day now. So let me know if you like it. Let me know. if there's anything I should change. And thanks for watching.